Formula One always has some crazy stuff going on, especially now that the new season is just beginning. We have so much going on, from new cars to beef between players. So what's going on in the world of Formula One, and what news do we have? Well, stay tuned to today's video as we're going to discuss F1 team's fear of mirror war and meet for an emergency meeting. First up, we have F1 teams fear mirror war and meet for emergency meetings. Over the winter break, tests occurred on the new Formula One cars that are set to be used during this next F1 season. Mercedes came out with their controversial design, a car without a side pod, and also their silver-pillared mirrors that caught the eye of many. Just a few days ago, a meeting took place where the Formula One teams met up to discuss these mirrors and their legality in order to avoid a so-called mirror war. According to Formula One rules, the mirrors of your car are not allowed to have any aerodynamic function on the vehicle, and it was believed that these silver-pillared mirrors would give some sort of advantage to Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. Though there were concerns, this new vehicle seems to fall under the official rules. But the other Formula One teams are worried that a mirror war could spark from these debates. This means that more and more innovative designs for mirrors could appear, and they would be on the edge of usability. This isn't something that the companies want, so they met to discuss what should happen to this before anything gets out of hand. According to FIA Formula Cars boss Nikolas Tombazis, there is room for interpretation with these rules, but Mercedes clearly exploited the space to design these mirrors as such. Now it's up to the Technical Advisory Committee to judge the design. What do you think about it? Let us know down in the comment section below. And now we have some other Formula One news. Next up, Mercedes' radical new car design stuns F1, sparks accusations from Red Bull. Now that the new season of Formula One is just around the corner, or may have even begun by the time you're watching this video, we are getting more and more news about the cars we'll be seeing on the racetrack. Mercedes have come out with a new car design that has stunned many in the industry. Mercedes firmly insisted the extreme no side pod layout of their 2022 cars and truck is completely lawful, yet F1 principals confessed the severe analysis of the brand new regulations will certainly produce a great deal of discussion. Lewis Hamilton debuted the new car in its new look not long ago during Mercedes screening. The new design is so crazy that we have had certain people question the legitimacy of the new design. Red Bull Group Principal Christian Horner was reported to have examined the layout of this new car during a meeting in Germany with vehicle, electric motor, and sporting activity. Mercedes Group manager himself, Toto Wolff, even came out saying that this new no side pod design for his car was good, and he actually had to protect his decision. It's clear that occasionally when you feature a development, it develops the type of discussion that we're having below. So that's why that was anticipated, he informed press reporters. F1 showing off supervisor Ross Energy confessed the layout was a warm talking factor with the brand new period to obtain underway at the exact same Sakir circuit on March 20th. I assume it's difficult to expect the innovative range of the groups when they obtain the new regulations. You've obtained countless designers, servicing all the guidelines as well as exactly how they can utilize them, stated Energy. So a few of these services, truthfully, we never expected. I assume there's no question that the Mercedes idea we didn't expect. This new car looks incredible. What do you think about it? Let us know down in the comments section below. And now we have Sebastian Vettel ruled out after a positive COVID-19 test for the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's sad news today, now that Sebastian Vettel has announced that he will not be competing in the Bahrain Grand Prix after testing positive for COVID-19. It's looking like the Aston Martin driver is going to be replaced by Nico Hülkenberg. COVID seems to be going around the racers, as McLaren's Daniel Ricciardo also tested positive for COVID-19 and had to miss the final test in Bahrain before the race weekend. Luckily, he's going to be available and fit for race weekend, which means he can practice on the Friday as long as he is negative. Hülkenberg hasn't been a permanent driver for Formula One since 2019, so he fills in for other drivers when they're out sick. What do you think about this? Let us know down in the comments section below. Though COVID is definitely calming down around the world, it's still a real problem in sports and many other parts of the world. So many places are almost forgetting about COVID now that we have a war going on in Ukraine, but it's still a major problem. Over time, COVID is going to become something of the past and become a worse common cold. Sadly, we are still going to be affected by this illness, and sports are going to be affected for years to come. Hopefully, Sebastian Vettel makes a swift recovery. And finally, we have F1 return a dream come true, says Magnussen ahead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. It looks like Kevin Magnussen is preparing for the Bahrain Grand Prix, which marks the seasonal opening race of 2022. However, just a few weeks ago, Magnussen returning wasn't even on his mind, as his return is a dream and very unexpected, he says. He's returning to Haas after a year away from the sport. Now that he's back with a second opportunity for the team, he expressed what a shock it was that he was even considered for the seat. It means a lot to be back. Formula One is the pinnacle of motorsport, and it's been my dream ever since I was a little little kid, said Magnussen. I had no idea I was even on the radar of coming back to Formula One, and then this situation happens, and I get the drive. That just feels really super cool. I've had a few seasons in Formula One already, but this comeback feels like the dream coming true once again. I've kind of been in this situation before. The first time I got an F1 drive, I was of course super excited and happy, but it almost feels as good as the first time because it was so unexpected, such a surprise. What do you think about his comments? Let us know down in the comment section below. It's been a crazy year for Formula One, and now that things are getting wrapped up, the new season is about to be a go. And that's the end of today's Formula One video. Formula One has had a lot of things going on these past few weeks. Though the season hasn't begun yet, we are seeing more news stories coming out about the improvements and looking to the future. The next few years of Formula One might just be its biggest yet. We're seeing great improvements in the cars and even more stories coming out about the drivers. It's going to be huge. So stay tuned for more information in the future. Even if its biggest hitters leave like Lewis Hamilton, they are always getting in newer and newer talent that should become huge over the next few years. The sport desperately needs a new star, however, as many people are getting bored of the same 5 or 6 drivers being the only important ones in a race. They don't focus on any other drivers throughout the race because all the audience cares about are the top few. Hopefully more drivers come into the sport and shake things up a little bit. The audience needs a change, and so does the sport. What do you think about this all? Let us know down below. We need something new in Formula One, and because of the way some of its legendary drivers are acting right now, we might see a switch around that starts up a new era of Formula One. For some, the sport is getting a little stale because of the limited number of drivers right now. We haven't seen much new insane talent reach our screens in Formula One in a long while. Once people like Lewis Hamilton or Max Verstappen leave the sport, Formula One will struggle for talent. Though the sport isn't going anywhere anytime soon, many believe we need some new faces to really display the new era of F1. What do you think about this side of Formula One? Should we get new faces in? And should a new era begin? Let us know down in the comments section below. Hopefully we can get some great feedback from you all. Hopefully you enjoyed this latest video. If you did, would you please let us know down in the comments section below? It would be very helpful. Make sure to like the video, comment down below, and of course, subscribe to the channel with the notification bell rung. Thank you for watching today's video. Bye.